Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Mora. I've wanted to make a YouTube channel for so long. I am probably like YouTube vloggers' biggest fans. I spend most of my time watching them. Also for legal reasons, that is a joke. I do of course work at my 9-to-5 job. Just wanted to make a YouTube channel full of my life, you know? I think that I am very lucky to live in the city that I do, live with the people that I do, and get to experience the things that I experience, and I thought I would take you all along. So in today's video, you are going to see me kind of prep for a new month. I try and be as organized as possible. If that always proceeds throughout the entire month, who's to say? What I do when I prep for a new month, I update my bullet journal, I update my book journal, just make sure that every month is off to a good start. Like I said, if that continues throughout the entire month, who's to say? That's none of my business. But yeah, so come along with me as I prep for February. If I was more planned, this video would have gone up on like the 1st or 2nd day of February. But c'est la vie. That's my motto for the year, is c'est la vie. Like I said, one of the things I do to prep for the month is I update my bullet journal and I update my book journal. My book journal is specific to the books that I read. So I thought that maybe I would tell you guys what books I read for the month of January. Also, please disregard all of my Twilight books on the bottom shelf. I mean, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't. But so first up for the month, I read, I don't have it because I got it from the library, but The Hawthorne Legacy. I'll insert a picture here. It is the second book in the Inheritance Game series, and I loved it. It is a young adult series. It gives me Knives Out energy, and whenever I was reading either of the books, all I wanted to do was watch the movie, so fair warning for you. Something I really loved about this book was that the chapters were so short. Some chapters were simply like a page, and I think that when the chapters are short, I think I read books faster. But yeah, that was actually my favorite book that I read this month, I think, was The Hawthorne Legacy, so I highly recommend. After that, I read Jo and Laurie. This is by Margaret Stohl and Melissa DeCruz. This book was good. It is obviously a playoff of Little Women, Jo and Laurie. I think, you know, obviously there's things in life that people are like strangely obsessed with, and Little Women is one of those things for me. I just love it. It was good, but I wasn't like in love with it ever. So like the timeline doesn't make sense to me, but it's not like the end of Little Women where they're all married and such. It's like in between. Like, spoiler alert, cover your ears if you haven't read Little Women and you don't want to know what happens. Beth has died, but like Meg isn't married yet. I don't know. Just like the Inheritance Games, the entire time I was reading it, all I wanted to do was watch Little Women. Which is like, again, nothing wrong with that, but that's the majority of the things that I felt. Then after that, I read Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited for the Hulu show about this. I cannot wait to see Joe Alwyn and stare at his face for hours. My romance novels that I read, not that they're unrealistic, but they're kind of unrealistic. Like, you know, things, the way that regular romance novel story arc usually goes is not how things happen in real life. And something I love about Sally Rooney books is just how realistic that they are. And so they still have that element of like a romance, of drama, but it's just like something that could happen in every single day life. And I really like that. So yeah, I enjoyed this book. I wanted to read it before the Hulu show came out. I was so happy to read it and know the casting so that I could think of Joe as I was reading it. Next, I read Finley Donovan is Killing It by Ellie Cosimano. I randomly picked this book up at Goodwill because of the cover. Sorry, judging books by covers, but I'm so glad that I did because it was so good. I feel like I haven't really heard a lot about it. I mean, it did come out like not a long time ago, but it's not fresh off the presses. Finley Donovan is an author of suspense romance novels, and she's talking to her editor one day in a Panera when a woman hears her and thinks that she's actually a hitman and hires her for a job. And that's all I'm gonna leave you with because that's pretty much all that the cover of the book tells you, and I don't want to give too much away. But it was great. It was the perfect mix of like suspense and mystery, but also like a sprinkling of romance in there, and I really, really liked it. And actually, I read it at a perfect time because a sequel just came out literally yesterday on February 1st. I highly recommend this book. This was a close second for my favorite of the month. I read Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I am a Colleen Hoover stan. Colleen Hoover could spit onto a piece of paper, publish it, and I would buy it and read it. I guess you can't read it, but I would buy it in an instant. I love her. This book was good. I think this happens with everyone, but when something is like so talked about, I think sometimes like there's always a little bit of, not disappointment, but everything I think in life is sometimes overhyped. And I think that was a little bit with this book. I mean, don't get me wrong, I flew through it and I really, really liked it. But it seemed like it wasn't as like heartbreaking to me as It Ends With Us, and it wasn't as like romance to me as Ugly Love. It seemed like it was kind of that middle point, one that I don't think, like I constantly think of reading Ugly Love pretty much every single day of my life, and this one I'm so glad that I have it, so glad that I read it, but I don't think that I'm going to reach back for it right away. But yeah, that is what I read for January. For February, I'm starting off with Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. I'm enjoying this one so far. I've had it on my shelf for a while. My goal this year is to read 50 books, and I'm hoping a majority of those come from my bookshelf because I have a lot of books. So I love to buy books, but I'm trying to read through what is on my beautiful shelf before I buy more. So that's it for my prep for February vlog. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. This is my first video on this channel, as you can tell, and there's a lot more to come. So if there's anything specific you want to see, make sure to comment it down below. And I'll be seeing you